Coming to you from the MAB Podcast Network, this is On The Brink with Michael Allen Brown. And good morning. Welcome to another episode of On The Brink. I'm Michael Allen Brown. Before there were jetliners crossing oceans, before there were interstate highways stretching from coast to coast, before America reached for the moon, there was the iron horse. For generations of Americans, the railroad was more than transportation. It was progress. It was opportunity. It was adventure. And for a young nation determined to connect a continent, it was nothing short of a miracle forged from steel, fire, steam, and human determination. Today, as America celebrates her 250th birthday, one of the greatest symbols of that remarkable era is once again rolling across the countryside. Union Pacific's legendary Big Boy 4014. Wherever it travels, crowds gather. Children sit upon their father's shoulders. Grandfathers point toward the horizons. Cameras click. Smiles appear. And for a few precious moments, America remembers. I understand that feeling because I have one of those memories myself. As a small boy, I stood beside my grandmother on a train platform in Memphis, Tennessee. I remember the anticipation, the waiting, the distant sound that seemed to come from another world. I remember the rails humming before the train arrived. Then suddenly, around a bend, there appeared a living machine of iron, fire, steam, and power. The ground trembled beneath my feet. Coal smoke drifted through the air. The whistle echoed across the station. To a little boy, that was as if a mountain had come alive. I didn't know anything about boiler pressure. I knew nothing about horsepower. I couldn't have explained how a steam locomotive worked. But I knew I was witnessing something magnificent. Something much bigger than myself. Something built by people who knew how to dream. Even now, decades later, there are crisp autumn mornings when I catch the faint smell of someone's coal stove drifting through the air. And for just a moment, I'm no longer a man in his 70s. I am that little boy again, standing beside my grandmother, waiting for the iron horse. Big Boy 4014 is an extraordinary machine. Built during World War II, it remains one of the largest steam locomotives ever constructed. Even today, its size and power leave people speechless. But what fascinates me most is not the locomotive itself. It is the people who made it possible. Think about that for a moment. Long before computers, long before digital modeling, long before satellites, men and women designed machines of astonishing complexity. Engineers sat at drafting tables. Machinists shaped steel with incredible precision. Foundry workers endured blistering heat. Railroad crews worked in all kinds of weather. Track crews crossed mountains, deserts, rivers, and plains. Together they connected a continent. What kind of people accomplish things like this? People who believe the impossible can be done. People willing to work. People willing to sacrifice. People willing to build something that will outlive them. The American Railroad story is really the story of America itself. It is a story of true vision, a story of perseverance, a story of innovation. It's the story of ordinary people accomplishing extraordinary things. The rails that stretched across this nation carried more than freight and passengers. They carried dreams. They carried opportunity. They carried hope. Towns were born because railroads arrived. Industries flourished because railroads connected them. Families built better lives because railroads opened doors that had never existed before. Today we live in a world of instant communication, a world where information travels across oceans in the blink of an eye. Sometimes we forget the generations that laid the foundation beneath our feet. We forget the men who swung hammers, the women who kept homes and communities together, the workers who built bridges, the engineers who solved problems no one had solved before, the dreamers who looked beyond the horizon and imagined what could be. Big Boy 4014 is a reminder of those people, a reminder of what Americans once dared to build. And perhaps more importantly, a reminder of what Americans can still build. That may be why thousands continue to gather beside railroad tracks whenever this great locomotive passes. They're not merely just watching a train. They are witnessing a living piece of history, a moving monument to ingenuity, a celebration of craftsmanship, a tribute to the spirit that helped build a nation. As America marks 250 years of freedom and independence, perhaps we would do well to remember that progress has always required vision, courage, hard work, and faith in the future. Those qualities built the railroads. Those qualities built America. And those same qualities can guide us forward still. From the rails of yesterday to the opportunities of tomorrow. This is Michael Allen Brown, and you've been listening to On The Brink. We'd like to thank Derek Schultz, who provided the great audio of Big Boy 4014 for this program. Until next time, God bless.